health and safety of the wrestlers is always the most important thing at AEW. And I just wanted to give everybody an update on Matt Hardy, and that is most importantly, Matt is okay and looks like Matt's going to be okay. What happened with Matt was Matt had taken a fall in the match, and I stopped the match, paused the match, and sent the doctor to check on him. And I was concerned that Matt could be hurt, so I rang the bell to pause the match. And then when the doctor checked on him, the doctor had passed him and cleared him on the protocol. He checked with Matt, and then Matt had come back after, and he's passed the concussion protocol, and he's doing okay. I spoke to him right after the match, and then again just now. He went as a precaution to the hospital just for tests to check out that he's okay, but it looks like he's okay, which is why the doctor cleared him to continue. It was not something any of us enjoyed, and it was something that was a scary moment. But the most important thing is that Matt is okay, and we're all really glad about that. And thank you very much to everybody for giving me a moment to say that. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. We have a few questions.
So you hear Tony Khan there. Of course, so much was made about so many things that happened last night at AEW All Out. Obviously, such a good thing that Matt Hardy is okay. It was very scary when you watched it, especially afterwards. And you could tell, that people didn't really know what to do. What do you do when someone's this hurt? And, ultimately they did something that in wrestling has never happened before. And a lot of people still giving crap to, AEW and Tony Khan. And I know that, REBY Hardy, obviously we knew we were going to hear from her. I just love her as a wife. She is so protective of her family, obviously. And I just love it. She is just losing it on Twitter, obviously. Was told Matt Hardy was doing a lot better today. REBY Hardy says, funny, neither I nor Matt have spoken with you. I mean, obviously she spoke with someone else. They needed additional imaging done after his CT. He's in the hospital, 1,000% concussion. Anyone with eyes could have told you that, says REBY Hardy. So REBY Hardy is really upset and really angry. However, that tweet by REBY Hardy saying it was 1,000% a concussion, that was 5 hours ago. An update is from Tony Khan recently saying that Matt Hardy did not have a concussion, so I'm kind of confused about what's really going on here. An update to Matt Hardy is great news. Matt is okay. We sent him to the hospital as a precaution, and he passed the MRI, CT scans. He doesn't have a concussion, and he's being driven home now. Matt will be at Dynamite on Wednesday to thank the amazing fans for the support. But this contradicts REBY Hardy's post where she says he 1,000% didn't get a concussion. Did get a concussion. I agree. I don't know what to tell you, but based on what I see here, is he got his bell rung, and I'm sorry. Like, I think he did get a concussion, but I don't think that I understand. Normally, let's pretend this was not AEW and this was years ago. Normally what would happen is the match would continue. Like, Mick Foley would come right back to climb the cage and everything. Like, this match would continue. There would be no temporary hold while the guy is evaluated by the doctors, which is what happened here. He was evaluated by the doctors, and he went on to punch a few times, climb a scaffolding, and sort of push a guy off. And that's all he did. But I am very confused at these conflicting comments. So this is definitely protocol that I've never seen before in wrestling, where they actually took time to have the doctors evaluate him as they paused the match and then continued the match as Tony Khan talked about. But there seems to be a disconnect about a concussion or not between REBY Hardy and Tony Khan, at least from what I see. obviously REBY was in the family theater room that they have over there at the Hardy Complex compound, whatever it is. Just adorable. I love it. I love it that, that Matt Hardy made some money and was able to install this kind of mini theater in his home. I've always dreamed of a little mini theater. And we kind of do have one in our little basement here, but not quite like this. So I really love it. And I love that the whole family was watching. But it must have been scary when he got hurt. So you can see, obviously, she's emotional and angry and, whatever. And, Tony Khan said, clearly thinks, obviously they said he does not have a concussion. I think, I honestly look at it and I think he did have some kind of concussion because I've had many myself, and that's what it looks like. Now, did he sort of get scared and knocked out or for a minute and then start stumbling? Dude, he just looked like he had he looked like he had a concussion. I don't care if he didn't. They say he doesn't. He didn't. It sounds like he didn't have a brain bleed. He didn't have something very major. They said I thought they said grade 2 concussion. I swear to God that they had said he had a grade 2 concussion. But now Tony Khan's message about this was just 28 minutes ago. This is only 28 minutes ago. We send him to the hospital as a precaution. CT scans, he doesn't have a concussion, and he's been driven home. He doesn't have a concussion? I can't believe he doesn't have a concussion. He has nothing. He suffered nothing from this, so he just basically was knocked out, sort of, and then couldn't really find his feet for a while. but he never had a concussion. That's at least a mild concussion, at least. I don't understand. So there's some kind of discrepancy here that, potentially I'm not aware of. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm unaware of things. But that's what Tony Khan said.
The first question is from Justin.
It looked, from the blind eye, like the medical team may have been overruled. Was there time to make a proper decision?
Yes, there was time. It was a good amount of time, Justin. So yeah, there was. I'm sorry. If you have another question, please follow up with it. But I just want to let you know.
Okay. Thanks.
Great. Okay. Well, the doctor did clear him. Matt did not pressure him, and Dr. Sampson would not be pressured into clearing anybody. He's pulled people from our shows without hesitation, whether it's been, for over something with a blood test or with an injury. And he's really strict about that stuff. And that's why when people have had injuries that he didn't feel comfortable about people doing physicality or wrestling with, we never put those people out there. So I never would have gone against the doctor's decision. And most importantly, Matt would not have been able to overrule the doctor's decision, not with the doctor himself or with me. And so that is what happened. The doctor cleared him, which is the first and foremost important thing. Matt also did want to continue, but the doctor cleared him. So at that point, when the doctor cleared him to continue, Matt clearly wanted to continue. That's why
Tony Khan did the right thing by having the doctor intervene. There's other places where there would never be a doctor even to look at you like that. There should be, but they clearly ushered him into the back and had the doctor look at him. And then they cut to commentary for a little while. They cut to commentary. The doctor evaluated him. He said, "Well, I don't see anything," and how, he tested him for all the things. And Matt said, "I want to go. Let's just go finish it. Let's go out there. I'll punch you. Like we'll get to the spot. I'll knock you off. We'll be done." And that's what they did. They came out and then they did it. They finished it. So I have reason to believe myself that Tony Khan, in AEW did protocols that, I don't know, man. We don't really see these protocols a lot in wrestling, so I feel like they did a good job, and I feel like Tony's not lying at all when he says that the medical staff did the right job, but it still doesn't seem 100% thorough to me. It still seems like maybe there was a little bit too much gray area, about what, it still feels like maybe that should have just been shut down because it's a last man standing match. And so they could have waved it off and said, that's it. It's over. The match is over. And because Matt Hardy was never counted down a 10, he's not out of AEW because the match was waved off. And because he was unable to continue, we still have rules that override someone's ability not to be able to get up after a 10 count, right? So if you visually see that someone has a brain injury during the match and they're walking around, the match has to be stopped. That's the way it always has been. It's not a non-sanctioned match. It's a last man standing match. And, that rule overrides the continuation of the match, and therefore it was not continued. So, they could have called it and saved it for Wednesday or the Wednesday after this Wednesday or whatever it is. But so Reby Hardy has a point, and Reby Hardy obviously is Matt's wife and is going to be upset, right? The most upset of anyone. So this is a rough one, man. What do you guys think? I'm still not. All I can say is the facts are, to me, is that they use some of the most precautionary measures I've ever seen in wrestling. However, I also believe that they potentially still should have probably called for the match to be over at that point. Once you realized how he fell, how he landed, and how he was acting afterwards, this is done. Right? And it doesn't matter wrestling. It doesn't matter he's out of the company and storyline. Tony Khan can easily get on the commentary on Wednesday and say, I'm Tony Khan. I stopped the match. I understand that Matt was putting his career on the line. Sammy Guevara, this is a blood feud. However, we have protocols. And so I stopped it. Matt, the contract is null and void because the match was interrupted by me. They will have this match again. But at the time, we couldn't continue with that match, and that's it. That's all you got to say. It doesn't matter. Everybody knows it's all a work. So, I don't know what the goal is here in saying, like, Reby Hardy saying he has a concussion. Most of us thinking like, wow, this guy's got a concussion, and even the commentary and the way it stopped. Oh my God, the guy's got a concussion, and then to go to the hospital and they say, oh, you don't have a concussion. Like I don't know. I just don't. I don't buy that he doesn't have a concussion. But Tony Khan says he doesn't, or he didn't, according to the hospital and the medical people. But he had something. I had that same type of concussion before. I guess I can't say that. I don't know what type of anything is, but I don't know. It's up to you guys. What do you think in the comments down below about this situation? And what's going on here? Do you think the match should have been absolutely stopped immediately? Do you think that and of course Matt Hardy's going to want to continue. I'm probably going to see that in the comments. Like, Matt wanted to continue. Well, it's your job to protect the wrestler and the athlete. When you see this, it's your job to say, nope, we're not doing this anymore. It is worth saying a little bit that, Tony Khan has only been doing this a little while. A lot of promoters do this for years and years and years. But Tony Khan is a very smart guy when it comes to the business. But I don't know how many, times he's really, seen situations where people get hurt or don't get hurt. I've been on the independents for years. I've been doing commentary for 11 years. Like, I even know, when somebody's injured. You know what I mean? Like, there was a time where there was a referee who only been working 2 years, and I was on commentary, and a guy got hurt, badly hurt. He hurt his leg badly, and the other wrestler was trying to continue, and the other wrestler was even trying to be like, check him or whatever, and the ref wasn't really doing the right job. And then one of the other wrestlers, they just started fighting still with the guy, and the referee wasn't doing anything, and the guy was in like raging pain. And when the referee got close to me, I was screaming at him, and I said, "Stop!" I'm like, "Stop the match, bro! You gotta stop this match. He's hurt. Like, he broke his leg or something." And the guy was like, "You think he broke his leg?" I'm like, "He broke his leg," and the ref moved away and went back into the match. Then finally, he got word from the guy, and the other guy was about to do a move to the guy, and I'm like, "His leg is like broken." And finally, the referee's throwing up the injury sign. And the guy next to me isn't ringing the bell. And I had to be like, he's injured, ring the bell, ring the bell, ring the bell. And he rang the bell. And then, I grabbed the microphone and was like, the referee has put a stop to this contest, and I put the mic down and I ran over to the wrestler and was like, dude, how bad is your leg? Because you look messed up. And he goes, I think something snapped or something's wrong. And I'm like, yep, of course. Nobody's doing anything still at this point. The referee's down kind of talk. Nobody's doing anything. And it was one of the last matches of the night, and I don't know, it was like nobody was paying attention. It was very strange. So I jumped over the barricade, ran in the back, and was like, where's the medical stuff? Where are the medical people? Where are the ambulance? And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, he just fucking I think he broke his leg. And nobody is doing anything. And they got the ambulance that was already there. And the medical guys came in, and the guys from the back came, and everybody had to help the guy out, and that happened. I've seen that several times in doing commentary. But with Tony Khan, I don't know how much he's ever been in the back of. That's 11 years I did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm very aware, like almost immediately, like that's not right. Something's wrong. And the referee wasn't. He was a newer referee. He didn't know what he was doing 100%, which happens. And it's just a bunch of bad things happening. Guy gets hurt bad. Referee doesn't really know. The ambulance people were like kind of starting to float away as catering. It was the end of the night. A lot of the wrestlers and stuff had kind of droned off, and just nobody was paying enough attention or something. So I just wonder how much experience, like, I'm sure Tony has gained a ton of experience over the last couple of years doing AEW now, wow, I never thought I'd have to make this decision or that decision. And it's a crazy decision to have to make, when you have so many paying people, the wrestler wants to continue, you kind of want to continue, but you also really care about Matt Hardy and about the wrestlers. You don't want somebody to get hurt on your watch. So it's all those things and all that emotion rolling into one, and you got to make a tough decision. And, he went with the medical staff, and the medical staff approved it, so he felt, well, okay, like, go do the rest of the deal, I guess. He watched Mankind go off a cell, and go through a cell, and everything I saw when I was a kid, and this wasn't, so it's a hard one. But, man, what do you guys think? Leave in the comments down below. I'm still looking for more comments from people. And I don't know if we're ever going to get them, but I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get I'm confused by these answers. We'll see you guys tonight we'll see you tomorrow night for the Raw review.